Former Fox anchor Clayton Morris has recently interviewed Antarctica whistleblower Eric Hecker in an episode titled, "It is HAARP on Steroids. Whistleblower Reveals Massive Weather Weapon at South Pole," on Redacted. Several very interesting topics during this interview. I'll focus specifically on Turkey. The section where we'll play starts with Clayton Morris setting the background of understanding concerning the Christchurch earthquake and speculation that it could be related to activities ongoing in Antarctica. So we'll play a clip.
Understanding.
And they already can carry out earthquakes in New Zealand and other spots. First of all, do we know of any other instances besides Christchurch?
My understanding was that, and I did discuss this on the Patrick Bet-David show, there was a circumstance, well, this is a while ago now, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, that President Biden at the time had made some sort of untoward threat towards Turkey, that if they didn't, acquiesce to whatever his decision was, that he'd hit them with an earthquake. I had seen this clip before, that it is extremely hard to find, but it did occur, and they did get hit with an earthquake.
If this clip actually exists, it would be considered extremely shocking and would exist as potential smoking gun evidence to a much larger weather manipulation investigation. The major greater than 7 Richter scale event occurred February 6, 2023, happening in the dead of night and destroying over 1,700 buildings and ending the lives of over this number by far. The true death toll is an unfathomable 53,537. And again, this horrid event happened in the dead of night. I'll play you a clip. Saw a blue flash from Transformers. All the power goes out. You see exploding Transformers. Just an evil, extremely horrible event. And if man-made, certainly considered a C against H. I try to find the Biden earthquake clip.
And so what I think we should be doing is taking a very different approach to him now, making it clear that we support opposition leadership, making it clear that we are in a position where we have a way in which was working for a while to integrate the Kurdish population who wanted to participate in the process in their parliament, etc. Because we have to speak out about what we in fact think are wrong. He has to pay a price. He has to pay a price for whether or not we're going to continue to sell certain weapons to him. In fact, if he has the air defense system that they're flying F-15 through to see how they can try to figure out how to do it. So I'm very concerned about it.
Biden is talking about Tayyip Erdogan, the current president of Turkey. So Biden mentions about Erdogan paying a price. Here he'll say he hopes that the Turkish leadership defeats Erdogan.
That still exists and get more from them and embolden them to be able to take on and defeat Erdogan, not by a coup, but by the electoral process. He got blown out. He got blown out in Istanbul. He got blown out, his party.
So he's saying a lot about being blown out. There's a video titled "Some Turks Blame the U.S. for Earthquake." I tried to click on it, but it's no longer on YouTube. Biden had given a lot of financial aid to Turkey and promised more through the IMF. This earthquake caused giant fissures to form in the roads. In the wake of the earthquake, Biden said this.
Joe Biden has tweeted on the Turkey quake. He has said, and I quote, "I am deeply saddened by the loss of life and devastation caused by the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. I have directed my team to continue to closely monitor the situation in coordination with Turkey and provide any and all needed assistance."
So it doesn't really seem like a vengeful president. Of course, rhetoric is just that. We have to assume his sincerity. Now, searching Biden earthquake Turkey with date range January 1st, 2020 to January 1st, 2023 reveals this Reuters article. Biden to warn Turkey's Erdogan against precipitous actions. Biden's exclusion of Erdogan from the Democracy Summit. Erdogan slams Biden's recognition of Armenian genocide. Biden officially recognizes the massacre of Armenians. So it's clear that there was tension between these two leaders. I wasn't able to find the supposedly suppressed clip. I'm not entirely sure, I believe, Hecker here. It's just a point to note regarding his claim. I used HARPA AI to summarize the video to another interesting clip going down to 108 timestamp.
Just recently, and admitted that we have weapons that can manipulate space and time. Do you feel vindicated?
I absolutely do. I'm pleasantly surprised that the conversation is finally going in this direction after great effort. So I'm very happy as to what I see showing up in the headlines now, and I look forward to people engaging these concepts, hopefully.
So in previous videos, I shared with you that it was indicated to me by an anonymous source. Some individuals within government have the capability of altering the trajectory of events through a means we, in our place and our understanding of technology that exists, we consider supernatural. So I find it very interesting that this supposed source from Antarctica is linking that continent to the concept of manipulation of time and space.
This equipment that I identified at the South Pole Station.
Is the New Zealand government aware that this was caused by the equipment and the machines at the South Pole Station? As the New Zealand government demanded retribution, said, you guys literally destroyed one of our cities. I mean, has there been any, or are they just sort of hands off?
Not to my knowledge. Nobody from the New Zealand government has ever reached out to me. Technically, I have.
Eckert goes on to talk about 5G, a link to Havana syndrome, the concept of atmospheric heating being associated with global warming. This claim about aliens, that the South Pole is a key location for monitoring the approach of extraterrestrial craft. I was told by a source that such things are not true, that there are no aliens, so to speak, but who knows. He goes on to discuss the Denver International Airport and how it may be well situated for classified research and that there could be extraterrestrial activities underground at Denver. He also touches on the topic of MK Ultra, which I think about in the context of the DC crash and the supposed recent revelation that the female pilot ignored multiple commands. I think it's beyond angst and hatred towards mansplaining. There could be some type of involuntary control of this person's mind that led to the crash. Many interesting topics brought up in this interview. I'll post it as an attached comment for you to be able to navigate directly towards it. Thank you for watching.